Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been way too freaking long, but I'm here to make a video about John Cena. Some love him, some hate him, some despise him. Where do I stand? How do I feel? Also, my thoughts on Saturday night main event. A little bit of that too. Alright, so let's get into this. So, I am personally I would consider myself more of a John Cena hater. I don't often like his matches. I don't often like a lot of his storylines. I often find him when he won the WWE Championship, I often was bored of it. See, for me, my enjoyment in wrestling, I don't like people hogging the WWE Championship or I like to see a bunch of wrestlers holding the top belts. That's when I think wrestling is at its best, is when you have a bunch of people fighting amongst each other for the top championships, compared to just pretty much one person winning it all the time, aka John Cena. Now, that being said, let's talk a little bit about Saturday Night Main Event. Very emotional event for so many people. It was for me too, even though, like I said previously, I'm a John Cena hater. Honestly, this whole year, in the past few years, I've found myself enjoying John Cena more. I've honestly found myself enjoying him more since the US Open Challenge. I want to say that was 2015, if I'm not mistaken. It's 2015 or... Nope, 2015. Sorry. I found myself to have more enjoyment from John Cena, and that was more because he wasn't the center focus of WWE. And that's when I had more enjoyment from him. But to sit here and, even after all the years of really disliking John Cena, this entire retirement run, and pretty much since he started mentioning that he will retire a few years ago, I have been sitting there being like, man, I really will miss hating on John Cena, because whether you like him or not, you're going to miss him. It's the same thing with if you're a fan of NFL or NBA, if your most hated, if LeBron James, if you don't like LeBron James, if he retires, you're still gonna miss him to some degree, because you're gonna miss hating on him while he's in the league. Because when someone retires, you have to give them their due. You have to give them their credit, because they're at the end of their career. It's stamped. It's over. But while someone's active, it's more of it feels more like you can dispute their career. But with it being their retirement, it's fully stamped. So it's kind of weirdly, throughout the event, throughout the match, I was rooting for John Cena, and I just found myself reliving John Cena moments and reliving being angry at those moments. But I'm sitting there with a smile on my face, almost rooting for John Cena to win. And and if you've not seen my videos before, Gunther is currently the best wrestler in the WWE. That's my personal opinion. He is my current favorite wrestler right now. So it is so poetic to see a wrestler I've hated for so many years bury so many of my favorite wrestlers growing up, seeing so many wrestlers lose to John Cena, lose to John Cena, lose to John Cena, lose to John Cena, to finally have my current favorite beat John Cena and retire John Cena, is a little bit of poetic justice for me specifically. But nonetheless, John Cena may have not been the most intriguing character, the most diverse character, the most actually good character, good person as a character. If you look at some of his jokes and his promos and his raps and stuff when he was Doctor of Thugonomics, it was gay bashing and it was homophobia. And there is some sense of, oh, well, it was a different time, but there also is like, objectively, you can look at that now and be like, doesn't look best, you know? And then when you have like 2012 where you have like John Cena stealing Zack Ryder's girlfriend and all this stuff, you have John Cena, the character, not being a good person. But then you have John Cena, the human being. The whole reason why I can never fully shit on John Cena is because he's legitimately probably one of the best human beings on the planet. And whether behind closed doors he's actually legitimately a good person or not, you have to give him credit for his Make-A-Wish. Because whether you are actually a good person, some merit has to be whether or not you're helping out kids, and you're helping out kids who are sick. And you see so many celebrities who will turn down kids who are sick in their Make-A-Wish programs when they try and reach out to them. But John Cena, I want to say it's over 600 Make-A-Wish he has granted. And like, man, there's something so special about that. I saw another video where John Cena was just signing. He was in a room and there were tables and tables and tables and tables and tables of John Cena autographs, and there were stacks of thousands each. Bang, 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 bang. Several tables. And he was just sitting there signing them, and he's like, this is the hardest part of the... And he's just sitting there, and he's like writing all this, and he's like, just because someone may want a signature. And little things like that shows to me the type of person that John Cena is. And no matter how much just credit you want to give this man for his in-ring ability or all this stuff, you have to give credit for his humanness. And sometimes in a world nowadays where it's so difficult to find genuine people, it is so nice to see one of the biggest stars in wrestling history not being a total piece of garbage. Because if we're also looking at the history of WWE, there's so many wrestlers who, let's be honest, not good people. And it really sucks to say, and it diminishes their legacy. There's even some debate that there are some wrestlers, if they were alive today, their legacy would be tarnished because of political views or whatnot and so forth. So, genuinely, with all that being said, sitting there teary-eyed crying at this man's retirement, it was a surreal experience. Like, and it's one of those things where when people point out to me or they ask me, like, what is it about wrestling that is, like, what is it that makes you call it the greatest thing ever created? And it's because you have, like, in that show, you had comedy, you had a little bit of comedy spots with R-Truth, Joe Hendry, and The Miz. You had serious graps with Gunther and John Cena, specifically in the aspect of, like, Gunther constantly trying to put on submissions and stuff. Then on top of that, you had showing off the young wrestlers who are the future of this business, being Obafemi, being Leon Slater, being Javon Evans, who also are a part of NXT and TNA, who, once again, future of the WWE. I am also a huge fan of NXT. I've made a few videos about it, and I plan on making more videos about NXT, and I plan on actually producing more content. Fingers crossed. But that's besides the point. To see John Cena, who sometimes in the past may have been considered not necessarily putting over younger talents, for instance, the Nexus. For him to sit there and just show love to the younger stars. He pitched so hard to have NXT stars on the show. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention Sol Ruca too, yeah. Because he loves wrestling and wants to show off the youth of wrestling. And also, whether you like Gunther or not, you do also have to sit there and understand that, like, I think there is no one better to retire him. I think people's problem with Gunther retiring him is it wasn't wrestlers who should have had opportunities to wrestle John Cena within his retirement year, but didn't, because unfortunately the booking wasn't the greatest. And side note, I thought it was really funny that anytime Triple H was shown, he was booed because his booking has been dog shit. This retirement tour could have been perfection. This past year, the whole reason why I stopped uploading videos is because legitimately I was finding myself not falling out of love for WWE, because I will never stop loving wrestling. I will never stop loving WWE, but I didn't want to watch the product. I didn't want to watch modern product. I wanted to watch previous product. And also, I want to watch more AEW because I wanted something new. Because WWE did the same stuff every single week. And I had my hopes up every single week that things would change. And then they didn't. And then they didn't. And what sucks is, like, you look at 2022 to now, and WWE very much was, like, on the upcline, up, and then it went down. And it really sucks because I wish John Cena's retirement tour, could have been perfection. I'm going to sit down in a couple days and write a script out for how I would rebook his retirement tour and all that. But that's a separate video. Nonetheless, it really does honestly suck to see John Cena retire. But honestly, it's going to be nice not seeing that man win all the time. Even though, granted, it's been more like 5 years since he really was winning, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, minus this past year when he did his retirement tour, but that's besides the point. And with how emotional I was feeling, it really made me realize that I'm not ready for Rey Mysterio to retire. I'm not ready for that. I will literally be a crying mess. And that's okay. Because that's what wrestling is. Wrestling is crying. Wrestling is laughter. Wrestling is all these intensive emotions on a roller coaster sometimes. And that's what makes wrestling perfection. And you can see that within this show because you have just so many people wanting to see John Cena and just getting emotional and getting tied into every little thing that John Cena does. Every AA he does, it's the last time you see that type of AA from the top second rope, from onto the table, the plethora of other ones, the 5 moves of dooms. We saw that the last time. It was all these different things that combined into this emotional roller coaster. And for me as a wrestling fan, it was beautiful. So, as well, within that, you have my perspective of that match, which was very much like, I wanted Gunther to win going into it. I knew he was going to win. I feel like everyone knew he was going to win. Most wrestlers, when they retire, they leave going out the way they came in, on their backs. And I think that, like, for me, it was interesting to watch, like, even though I wanted him to win, part of me was hoping, I was like, I hope John Cena screws me one more time. Which was a really weird feeling. I hope John Cena beats this guy when he shouldn't win. Because John Cena wins law. But he didn't. He lost. He retired. End of an era. It's also a little sad because for most of us who are around my age, their entire life, they've grown up pretty much watching John Cena on WWE television. And now he's gone. It's a lot. But it's life. It's wrestling. Yeah. But that's it for today's video. I will be uploading at least one video next week. I pinky promise. Fingers crossed that I can upload more than one, but at least one video next week. Bye, guys.